and I'm the baddest in the school, the baddest in the game. Excuse me, honey, but nobody's in my lane. When you was in New York, you was fucking a Yankee. I was fucking with bass, I was pitching a Frankie. These bitches so cranky, give them a hanky. My mommy, I'm cold, give me my blessing.
Divas, and we're back at it again, but this time with a natural hair tutorial. Starting off with clean dry hair, I went ahead and sectioned my hair into 4 parts. This makes it easier for me because we're going to press out the hair. It helps give a natural sleek look to the ponytail, and this should be done whether you have permed hair or natural hair. I used my heat protecting spray as usual because you also want to make sure you're keeping your hair healthy and not damage it as much as possible, being that we're putting heat on it. Make sure that when you get to the front of the head, you try to flat iron your baby hairs as close to the scalp as possible without burning yourself. This helps the baby hairs lay better and last longer. Again, in all my videos, I will stress the importance of healthy hair. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of wild growth to give my hair some moisture. I'm not putting it in the front towards the edges because the oil will loosen up the edge control and the gel. So now we're going to go in with the Pro Style gel. This that throwback gel. I know y'all remember this. I love this gel. It's my favorite. I always use it for any bun look that I do because it holds the best in my opinion. It doesn't flake up like all the new products do. And I like the fact that it's black. It helps darken your hair a little bit. Even though I did put a rinse on my hair to make it jet black, but it still helps with it. So now I'm just going to go over all my head. I put my hair in the ponytail first so I can just know where I want it to mold it. And I'm just going to put gel everywhere. And then I'm going to brush it up and put it back into a sleek ponytail. Here you can purposely see me pulling out hair on the side. This is where I'm going to eventually put my baby hair. I don't like to put the black gel on that because I don't want it to get too hard. By now, y'all should be familiar with this can. This is the Got To Be Free spray. I'm using it to also help mold and help the gel hold as well. Then I'm going to go in with the back of my hot comb, and I'm basically pressing it up into the ponytail to make sure that everything lays flat and just like seamless, sleek, all those nice words. Clipping my hair up. This part real extra, y'all. I just do this so I don't get my hair tied up into the hair tie. You don't have to do that. I'm just extra like that. So now I'm going to take my hair and put it into a tight bun and use rubber bands to secure it. I wish I hadn't done it in such an upward way because it'll affect how the ponytail looks, but you'll see that later. The hair we'll be using in this look is a pack of jumbo braiding hair by the brand Outre. It was $1.99 at my local beauty supply store. You can pick whichever one you want. Just make sure it's jumbo so that it's full. The bottom of the hair is cut even. That's not going to help with having a tapered look at the end of your braid. So what I'm going to do now is just pull the hair, and I'm also going to take some out and just place it in different areas so that I have like a more jagged look versus the even look. So now I'm going to take that same rubber band that I took off the hair and put it back onto the hair so that I can use it to tie around my bun. Now that I have attached the hair, I'm going to part it into 3 sections and then just start braiding from here. Do not braid it too tight. You want to do it loose but neat. As I'm braiding, you're going to see me pull out a few strings of hair. That will be the hair that I use to make the goddess look, which is the messy, free hair type look. Next, I'm going to fluff out the braid. What I'm doing is just pulling the braids apart to make it look bigger and also appear messy, but not too messy. Still neat, but just a little bit more messy. Next, I'm going to flip the ponytail over to the side that I want it. Then I'm going to fluff it out a little bit more and tuck the bun inside the ponytail. I'm going to play with it a little bit to try to get the hump that I want. But this is what I was talking about earlier when I said I wish I would have did it a little bit flatter, because now it's going to kind of like stick up a little bit. But I'll just have to play with it when I pin it up and make it work. Now for the messy goddess look, I'm going to take those strands of hair that I left out and use my flex rods and rod them up. I'm using 3 different sizes so I can have 3 different looks. Some are going to be coiled tightly, some will be looser. Then we're going to take it and dip it into hot water. That's how you curl synthetic hair. And here's the curls now. So my next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to be playing with this. I'm going to be pulling the curls apart to give it that messy look. And I'm also going to be cutting them because they're kind of long. One of the mistakes I made was using my razor comb, which you will see. So I ended up using scissors, and I had to eventually go back over 2 of them to recurl them. Here I am basically pulling the hair through the braid because most of them were in the same area. So instead of making new ones, I just basically pull them in and bring the hair out in a different place so that it will be up and down the braid. As you can see, I went ahead and put those 2 flex rods back in the areas that were not as tight curled. And while those are drying, I'm going to work on my edges. Using Gorilla Wax and Murray's Edge Control, I'm going to play with my baby hairs. You can do this however you want to fit your face. A quick tip on long-lasting sleek edges is straight hair. If you have natural hair, take a small flat iron and straighten out the part that you're going to use as your baby hair, and then use your edge control. Also, make sure you let it dry and set. You can sit under a dryer, you can use a blow dryer, you can tie them down, but you have to make sure that you set them. That's how they're going to stay longer. So lastly, we're going to use these. They are little jewelry accessories for hair. You can find them at your local beauty supply store for about $2. And I'm just going to place them throughout my hair to give it a little pop and make it look fun and flirty. And my favorite part, the big reveal. It's all finished. This was super cheap, super easy. It only took about 45 minutes. The braid is still neat and messy at the same time. This is definitely a summer look, ladies, because it's lightweight. And ladies, you should definitely try this on your daughters as well. Also, again, I wanted to point out that it has a little cone look at the top of the braid. That's because when I put my real hair in a bun, I had it going more upward instead of flat. So just make sure you do it a little bit flatter. If you don't, then just fluff out the braid area at the top a little bit more. Thanks for tuning in again, ladies, and your continuing support. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram.
I'm cold, give me my blankie. Flyer than a kite, I get higher than Rapunzel. Keep the snow white, I could buy it by the bundle. Left your cookies up before they crumble. Don't be acting like the